What's going on, Berserk fans? Today's topic is one that I've frequently seen in my comments, more so in the what the hell is Rickert up to and my most recent video retrospective on Judeau. Both of those will be in the description below if you want to check them out. This particular question of who would join the new band of the Hawk or Falcon after the eclipse, who could join Femto should they have survived, I mainly wanted to focus on the main crew and the regiment leaders, since we already know Guts' stance, such as Casca, Judeau, Pippin, Rickert, and Corkus. If you're new to the channel, consider subscribing for relevant Berserk topics and click that bell to stay up to date. Now let's get into it. Yo. Now before we get started on my thoughts on who would or wouldn't join the current band of the Falcon, I'd like to point out that there will be slight spoilers if you're not caught up with the manga or the anime adaptations. So subscribe and come back to this video once you are up to date. First, let's get Rickert out the way. He's the only member of the old crew that was not branded, and the only one that actually had a choice to rejoin or follow Griffith after becoming Femto. Since everyone else besides Guts and Casca died or were sacrificed during the eclipse. For Rickert, I'm kinda split in the middle. I know, hear me out. Although we know canonically he rejects Femto's offer in the Falcon and Millennium Empire arc, in my mind, I only think he made the decision as a result of Guts revealing what happened to the band, and being able to witness what Casca's struggle was for the past 3 years, and then being tasked as Erika's protector after Judeau passed away. I think these three main factors aided in his decision to reject Griffith once he made it to Falconia. Having pre-knowledge about how Griffith acquired this kingdom and the results made him opposed. Now hypothetically, if, and that's a huge if, these three factors were not present, I think he would accept Femto's offer, even after Locust gave him a tour of what the new band consisted of. Similar to how Mule, Laban, Erwin, Jareth, and the rest of the human portions of the army came to accept the demons that were among their ranks. Rickert's undying admiration for Griffith would supersede how his evolved morals as a 19-year-old man is now. In his youth, he was the most naive of the crew, therefore he would be prime pickings for Griffith's persuasion. So it's a yes and a no for Rickert. Now we're starting to get into interesting members. In my opinion, I do not believe Judeau would continue to follow Griffith after the events of the eclipse, mainly due to the fact that Judeau is not an idiot. And although he originally decided to follow Griffith because he was kind of dissatisfied with his own life outside of the band, at the end of the Golden Age arc, I believe he had grown enough to make and follow his own resolve, as evident before the events of the eclipse when he spoke to Guts and revealing that Griffith was not fit to lead anymore. Adding to that would be witnessing the eclipse itself, since he was branded along with his comrades. But the deciding factor that I think would influence overall him saying no would be Casca's rape at the hands of Griffith. Being someone who cared deeply and secretly loved Casca and canonically sacrificed his life to protect her, I believe he would definitely oppose Griffith for the decision he made, and most definitely for the mistreatment of Casca. Now with Pippin, we don't have a lot to go off as we do with the other characters. Mainly because media made him a stoic and silent protagonist that every once in a while would kinda come in clutch when it comes to battle or critical dialogue. In my opinion, I don't believe he would follow Femto. Although he was perceived to be a loyalist to Griffith, I feel Pippin mainly acted out of the benefit of the band majority of the time. Plus his relationships with the other members like Guts, Judeau, Casca, and most notably Rickert. He always held the overall connection of the band first. Pippin has always struck me as a character who cherished the overall chemistry of the band to the singular motives of Griffith himself. Most evident how he came back to assist Guts when confronting the Black Dog Regiment, and also how he alerted the band of the oncoming threat after Griffith was in prison, and most notable, how he gave his life to protect Judeau and Casca during the eclipse. At the end of the day, if Pippin survived the eclipse, he would be traveling with Guts hunting apostles during the Black Swordsman and Conviction arcs, so it's gonna be a no for me with Pippin. I mean, if it's not obvious enough, Corkus would join Femto without hesitation. Being a diehard stan of Griffith, and an individual who values his survival overall, Corkus would choose the best option for him to continue living on. Corkus in Berserk is the equivalent to Usopp pre-time skip, a complete coward when his life is on the line. So yeah, Corkus would join. Last but not least is the focal point between the opposition and the loyalists. The biggest loyalist of them all to Griffith, Casca. Like Rickert, she can be placed at the crossroads. On one hand, she would join Femto due to her lingering feelings for Griffith and that she is indebted to him for saving her life and also giving her a purpose to live. Plus adding the fact that Griffith operates in her and Guts' son's host body, so her motherly connection would keep her drawn towards him. On the other hand, she would not pursue him for his betrayal in deciding to do the very thing to her that he initially saves her from by raping her. Adding on the fact that her love for Guts started to transcend her infatuation for Griffith by the end of the Golden Age. But I think we'll soon get this answer with the upcoming chapter in 364. So, with Casca, it's kinda here and there. So let's recap. In my point of view, Judeau and Pippin wouldn't, Corkus would, Rickert and Casca would be in the middle. But these are my opinions, and therefore it does not mean it's concrete. Who in your opinion would follow or reject? What do you think of my opinion, and do you agree, or do you think I'm bugging? Comment those thoughts below, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more Berserk discussion videos, and check out the other videos I have on the channel. You know the vibes. It's Kaizoku Sleven. Appreciate you.